Hey y'all, I'm Rylan. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be chatting about a very underrated book that I have recently read, really enjoyed, and wanted to highlight on my channel. This is a book that has been out for over 8 years at this point, still sits at less than 5,000 reviews on Goodreads, so it is very much an underhyped and underrated book, and I wanted to bring some more exposure to it today. We are going to be taking a few minutes this morning to review this book, to chat about it, to share my thoughts, and hopefully influence you to check this one out. As you probably saw from the title and or thumbnail, today's book review will be a young adult thriller called I Have No Secrets by Penny Joelson. Before I dive into the review for this book, however, I just want to mention that it is available currently as an ebook on Everand, which is an audiobook, ebook, and podcast subscription platform. I have been using this app for the last several weeks and have really enjoyed it. If you're interested in checking this book out after this review, I will have a free trial link in the description down below if you're interested in trying out the subscription and potentially reading this book. With this free trial, you can get 1 premium credit for the month, and then if you choose to purchase a standard subscription, which is $11.99 a month, you can continue to get 1 premium credit a month, as well as access to a lot of their unlimited items on the app. Or you can purchase a premium subscription, which is $16.99 a month and includes 3 premium credits, as well as access to their unlimited catalog of things that are free to any subscriber. Thank you so much to Everand for being a part of this video. Very excited that this book is on there, available as an ebook, and I hope that you go and check it out. I Have No Secrets officially came out in 2017. However, I believe it was republished in 2019 and officially has a different cover, at least here in the US. I found this book on Book of the Month, of course, a few months ago. Have had my eye on it for a while, but I finally got a copy of it and didn't let it sit on my shelf for too long before picking it up, which is great. To give a quick synopsis, this is a young adult thriller, as I have already mentioned, about a young teenage girl whose name is Jemma. She has cerebral palsy and cannot speak or move, but is super intelligent, very aware, and observant of what is going on around her, and that gets her mind racing often with this mystery that ends up occurring in her home. She lives with her foster parents and her foster siblings, and her caregiver lives in the home with them all, and one day her caregiver goes missing. Jemma has been taunted for the last several weeks now by her caregiver's boyfriend, who pretty much admits that he is not a great guy. He teases her, he taunts her, he whispers things in her ear when people are not around, pretty much telling her that he's done some things and she can never tell anybody because of her disability, and bullies her because of that. But Jemma has been keeping a list of everything that happens when her caregiver does end up going missing. She knows, she has a very strong idea of who is behind it, but she's trying to figure out how she can communicate with that, how she can help with the investigation, because nobody knows where her caregiver has gone. But Jemma has these very strong suspicions. She thinks that she knows the truth, but she isn't sure how she's able to help or to go and get those answers to share with her family as well as the police. Content warnings for this book do include ableism, murder, kidnapping, bullying, death, blood, and suicidal thoughts. I will also have those listed in the description down below. I ended up giving this book 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I don't read a ton of young adult thrillers anymore, but this is a book that just reminds me of why I think the genre is so fun sometimes. I mentioned this in my August wrap-up video, but I sat down at 7 o'clock one evening to start reading this while my husband was working on one of his fish tanks, and by 8 a.m., 8:30 the next morning, I had finished it. I probably read this book in 3 hours from start to finish, and I don't typically do that. I'm not typically able to do that. This book was so gripping. I did not want to put it down. I really enjoyed it and wanted to know what was going to happen in the end. In terms of the plot of this book, this is a storyline that hooks you from the very first chapter. There's no disappearance quite yet in the first chapter, but there is a murder that has happened in this neighborhood, and so that's kind of still high profile at the time of the beginning of this book. She is being taunted, Jemma is being taunted by the perpetrator of the murderer who is in and out of their house, but she can't do anything about it at the time. And so from the very beginning, there are things that are going on. Jemma is being bullied. She is trying to show via her facial expressions, via sounds that she can make, that she does not like her caregiver's boyfriend, but nobody understands what she means. And it's very, very frustrating for her. She has this tension that is building up inside of her. She wants to be able to communicate, but isn't sure how. And it's very frustrating. And then we have this big disappearance that happens with her caregiver going missing. And from there, we are just following all these chapters where things are being revealed, where her family is trying to get answers, where the police are investigating, where she is coming into contact with people, and the truth is very slowly being revealed. It's very evident from the beginning that we kind of know who the perpetrator of these crimes are, because he is taunting Jemma, he is bullying her. There's more to the story than just that. We don't quite see the full picture until the very end. There are some very sweet and heartwarming things that happen in the plot as well. Jemma finds out very early on that she has a twin sister, and they start to get to know each other. Her twin comes and meets her, and it starts off very rough, but they end up building a very sweet relationship. Jemma has the opportunity to go to this college somewhere in their area, and there's a professor there who wants to offer her a chance to start using this communication device that's in experimentation right now. And overall, I just think that this plot very well blends this beautiful family story as well as a very fun mystery, a disappearance thriller that I did not want to put down, and I read super duper quickly. This is a very tame young adult thriller. There are YA thrillers with murder and death and very gory disappearances, as not the case in this book. But there is a lot of mystery in it regardless. Not a lot of violence, not a lot of blood descriptions and things like that, but there is very much still that idea of a mystery in it. All the chapters end in a way that makes you want to keep on reading to find out what's going to end up happening. And I do think that's such a staple of the thriller genre in general, and such a necessity in the genre, and I thought it was very well done in this book. In regard to the characters, I really loved following Jemma's perspective. I have not personally read any books from the perspective of a character with cerebral palsy, but I thought that the author approached this story with such grace and research as well. The author bio in the back of the book says that the author spent a lot of time working with children and teenagers with disabilities, which ended up inspiring her to write young adult thrillers from the perspective of people with various disabilities, and I really liked that. I think that her intention, I read somewhere, is to give a voice to the voiceless, and I thought that that was so well done here. I thought that Jemma was such a strong protagonist, and I really enjoyed reading about this blended family. Jemma is in a foster home. Her two siblings are also foster children, and her parents are very open and warm and welcoming and wanting the best for their children, and I really appreciated seeing that. It was such an interesting and fun dynamic. They're not a perfect family by any means, but they are so trying their best. I just really appreciated the care and intention that went into this family, as well as the steps that they took to want to help out their caregiver and try to find the truth and answers regarding her. I Have No Secrets is a super underrated and easy to read thriller. If you want something that's not going to require you to think super hard, is not going to require you to keep track of a lot of different timelines or perspectives, I would highly recommend picking this one up. Once again, I read it probably in 3 hours, if not less time than that, and I just did not want to put it down. This book may not have your heart pounding or you sitting on the edge of your seat, but it is certain to keep you engaged the whole time as you follow Jemma, knowing the truth. You know the truth with her as she's trying to navigate and figure out how to help solve this mystery that is going on in her own home. I actually ended up tearing up a few times during this book, especially when it came to her interactions with her family and her twin sister that she finds out about. I was not expecting to do that in this book, but the thriller genre is one that can make me tear up or get emotional at times, and this book is now included in that list. I have read several thrillers over the last few years that have made me cry, so this one can be added to the emotional list for sure. But overall, I just think that this book is so underrated but so well done, and I think that it deserves more hype. I wanted to highlight it on my channel for a few minutes, chat about it with y'all, give y'all my thoughts, and potentially encourage you to pick this one up. I so enjoyed reading this book that is more than just a mystery. It is a blend of family dynamics and identity and finding yourself and solving mysteries, and it was so fun. I highly recommend checking this one out. I just wanted to hype it up a little bit on my channel, and I hope that I did that well. I do plan to check out some more books by this author in the future. I think almost all of them fall under the category of young adult thrillers, and I am very curious to see what else she has written and published and explore the other things that she has written about. Let me know in the comments down below if you've heard of this one or read it or want to check it out. That is all that I have for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.